Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Thanks a lot for making some time out of your day to watch the video. I know you guys could be spending your time doing other stuff, but just want you to know I really appreciate you guys watching the video today. And got a really good video. We're going to be talking about the differences between green pumpkin and watermelon and soft plastics. Here's the two colorations here, and going to give you guys some tips and advice on when to use what and why that is, why you need to make those changes on there. I think it's going to surprise you guys when I tell you a little bit on this. Real quick, I just wanted to give everybody a big thank you for everybody that's been clicking on the View Products tab. You guys know we got, when you put the video on, there's a little thing that says View Products at the bottom. If you click on that and look at one of the products I recommend, channel gets 20 cents every time you click on that. So thanks a lot for everybody that's partaking in that little program there. Much appreciated. Okay, green pumpkin, watermelon, guys. These are without a doubt the two most popular soft plastics colors in fishing. They're just the bread and butter. A lot of people say it doesn't matter what color of soft plastic you throw as long as it's green pumpkin. Not so much with watermelon, but there's a lot of similarities in the two. I think a lot of people, when you talk about these two colors right here, they think that they're so similar that there's no difference between the two. And granted, a lot of times, if you're getting bit on green pumpkin, you can also get bit on watermelon, but there's also situations where one will work significantly better than the other. So I want to get into that a little bit. In my opinion, there's three foundational elements to this when I consider green pumpkin or watermelon. I've got to make that determination. The first determination is probably one of the most obvious ones, and that's water clarity. As you can see here by the difference, the green pumpkin is a little bit darker than the watermelon. And it depends on the soft plastic. Some are more pronounced than the other, but you can see even on the tail there, the watermelon right here is a little bit more translucent. So the first thing you got to remember is the green pumpkin is going to work a little bit better a lot of times if you have a little bit more off-colored water, simply because it's darker and it silhouettes more. So a good rule of thumb for me, if I'm fishing, say, water visibilities that have less than 3.5 foot of visibility, I go to the green pumpkin. And also, on top of the water clarity, the other things that can make a determination there is the wind and the sunlight intensity. If you have a cloudy day, say it's maybe misty, rainy, or just heavy overcast, even if the water's real clear, sometimes I'll go to green pumpkin under those low light conditions. Also, green pumpkin in really clear water is good right off the bat in the morning, early in the morning, late in the evening, or if you have some really high winds. All of those factors that add up to decreased visibility in the water will make green pumpkin a little bit better than watermelon. Now, watermelon to me is sort of my go-to if the water visibilities are over, say, 3.5 or 4 feet. And a lot of times if you got bluebird skies or bright sunny days with not much wind, it's a little bit more subtle color. So prime examples, like these are two of my favorite colors to flip and pitch flooded bushes. So if I'm in a flooded bush situation where I've got 4 foot of visibility, I may go to green pumpkin, like I said, early and late in the day, or if it's cloudy or something like that. And on the bright sunny days, I'll go to the watermelon. That's the determination. Another thing that's really important on green pumpkins and watermelons is these baits work really good. Actually, they work better if you dye the tails on them. I probably dye the tails on any of my watermelon or green pumpkin soft plastics probably 90% of the time. Very, very seldom will I just use them straight green pumpkin. Most of the time, what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of chartreuse or orange just on the ends of them, depending upon how clear the water is. If the water's real clear, I may just put them on just that much. If the water's really dirty and I'm using like a green pumpkin, I may put the whole tail chartreuse, like dip the entire tail to stand out more. But one of the things that's sort of a paradox on the deal is that if the water is more on the dirty side and it's cloudy and rainy, a lot of times you can take the watermelon and you can dip the entire tail of the watermelon orange or chartreuse, and it holds the dye better than the green pumpkin. So if you dip chartreuse or orange in the tail of a watermelon, it becomes brighter than the green pumpkin. So a lot of times, if it's those conditions, I found that I can take and dye this entire tail chartreuse orange, and I've still got the light color on the top, and it really stands out more than the green pumpkin, again, in those extreme low light conditions, dark, windy, rainy, that type of stuff. So there's a lot of it is just experimentation with it, but again, the foundational things is a lot of it is just based upon water clarity and light intensity and wind. And there's very few times that I found, if I'm getting bit on green pumpkin, say I'm pitching or flipping green pumpkin, or if I'm fishing a green pumpkin shaky head or something like that, if I put on a watermelon, I'm still going to get some more bites. So if I'm getting, 25 bites a day on green pumpkin, I can probably go back in that same water the next day and go to watermelon, the different color, and still get 10 or 15 bites. They'll bite it in the same situation, but part of bass fishing is we want to try to maximize everything that we can to take control of these variables. And that's when knowing when to use one over the other, knowing a little bit about dyes is going to add up to some more fish for you guys. So I hope that sort of answers the question. Like I said, you can't go wrong with this. Another good thing, guys, about watermelon and green pumpkin, watermelon in specific is, and we'll do a video on this later some other time, you can do so much with dye on this. You can take, you can dye half the bait black, you can dye half the bait blue or orange or whatever. You can create some really, really unique colors out of a watermelon soft plastic, because again, the watermelon holds the dye in a more natural and pronounced way than any other color you can throw out there. So hope that, guys, makes some sense. Hope it helps you catch a few more fish. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated, and please hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.